Funhouse, where the wild and weird abound. From the serious to the paranormal, there's no telling what you'll find. Hosted by the one and only Paul, we'll take you on a wild ride through the realms of the unknown and the mysteries that hide. So come on in, take a seat, get ready for a show where anything can happen and the energy will flow. Welcome to the Funhouse, where the music's loud and the lights are bright. A one-of-a-kind experience that will keep you up all night. You might get just Paul, or maybe one of his friends. Jazzy the Jester, Max the Magnificent, Logan the Legend. They're all here to take you on a ride. So join Paul and friends and let the good times roll. In the world of the Funhouse, where anything goes, let's go.
Hello, and welcome to Paul's Funhouse. I'll be your gracious host on this journey into the unknown, into the paranormal, into the wrestling world, and so much more. I'm Paul. It's a fantastic pleasure to meet you. And like I was saying, as we go through Paul's Funhouse, we'll get some guest appearances by Jazzy the Jester, Max the Magnificent, and Logan the Legend, my friends here in the Funhouse. And what we'll be covering? Well, that's all up to what we're doing that day. But with this being the first episode of Paul's Funhouse, I wanted to hit a serious note right off the bat, and that is mental health. Well, my birthday is tomorrow, and I have running on my Facebook page a fundraiser so you can donate to 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. I am a big advocate of mental health. It means a lot to me. I suffer from a mental disease, a mental illness. My superpower is depression, anxiety, and I'm getting tested because there's rumors that I might be autistic as well. So we'll get all that tested here soon. And we're running some testing on ADHD as well. So big fan of mental health and advocating for it and talking about it. And that's what I wanted to do on the very first episode of Paul's Funhouse. Hit it off with a serious note. And then we can dive into some of the fun stuff as the show progresses. One reason I want to touch on mental health, not only just mental health, but men's mental health. Because that is something that's not talked about enough. Men are taught from a young age that emotions don't matter. Suck it up, walk it off. And there's no crying in this sport. There's no crying in that sport. You know, keep it bottled up. Don't let them see who you really are. That type of stuff. I know I kind of was dealt some of that. My dad was not one to discuss his emotions. He's gotten better, though. So I will give him that, but when I was growing up, we didn't talk about what was wrong with us. And that kind of has always been a thing in his family. And that's the case for a lot of men. We don't get taught that it's okay to cry. It's okay to need help. It's okay to ask for help. So I want to reach out to all the guys out there and just let you know that you can ask for help. It's okay. Believe it or not, it is 100% okay to ask for help. Whether you're feeling suicidal, or whether you're just down in the dumps. You can talk to somebody about it. It's okay. You can even send me a message at Paul Zartman 87 on all social media. You can find me on Facebook, Paul Zartman. Send me a message. Say, hey man, I need to talk. You said that I could come talk to you. And you know what? I'll listen. We'll talk. We'll get things figured out. I'll help you the best I can. I don't have a degree in anything to help you, but I'll listen. I'll be that shoulder. I'll be that ear. And I'll give you the best advice I can give you. There are less and less groups for men out there. You know, I see all the time on social media, on the news, that we don't talk about men's mental health enough. Yet, where is everything for it? Where can we go to get help? I mean, yeah, you've got your typical places like the Bowen Center, things like that. You got recovery places that you can go to. But again, we're taught that you don't talk about that stuff. So why? Why do we want to talk about it? Why do we want to go? Well, I'm here to tell you, folks, that regardless of what the media says, regardless of what movies say, tough guys do struggle as well. And you can reach out for help. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, there are resources out there for you. As we talk more about 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, I wanted to talk a little bit about what they are. They work with individuals and families to help them achieve mental and emotional well-being. Their groundbreaking solutions deliver high quality service and support when, where, and how it is needed. Their education and advocacy work shifts policy and public opinion so mental well-being becomes a social responsibility and is treated with the importance it deserves. They're advancing access, dignity, and respect for all and revolutionizing the system for good. So go check out 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline if you're in need of anything. And, while we're talking about this stuff, I'm going to talk about the bad stuff. The stuff that frustrates me when we're talking about mental health. So many times do you see on the news, oh, this person shot up this person did this person did that. Well, it's because they have a mental illness. That's not always the case. Just because somebody does something bad doesn't mean that they have a mental illness. Okay? Maybe there are a few that do. But the problem becomes, we categorize people too quickly. Whether it's the Columbine shooting, whether it's the Sandy Hook incident, whether it was the gentleman in Vegas. We always go quickly to, they had a mental illness. That's why they did what they did. We don't know that. Did they leave a note that says, hey, I went and did these things because my mental illness is crap? No. Maybe they did, but no. I don't recall that. But here's my point, okay? Just because somebody has a mental illness doesn't mean they're scary. Doesn't mean they're horrifying. Yeah, I'm wearing this mask, but you know what? That's because I like it. It doesn't indicate my mentality. It doesn't mean I'm going to go chew on people or sharpen my teeth to look like this and then go on a rampage of biting people. Too many times in the media, in movies, the people who suffer from mental illness are the ones who do the bad things. Whether that's shooting up a school, whether that's shooting up a public place, it doesn't matter. I see it all over the place. I've seen it on NCIS, Law and Order, multiple movies. There was a movie I saw one time, and I cannot think of the name of it for the life of me. But this guy dresses up in a paintball outfit, basically, and he goes on a rampage shooting people because he felt like it. And if I remember correctly, it's revealed that he had a mental illness. Why? Alright, I'm a huge fan of American Horror Story. And if you go back to season 1, Murder House, Tate went in and shot up his school, killed a bunch of kids. But he didn't have a mental illness. He was possessed by the house, so of course it would be deemed a mental illness. But, that's not the point here. The point is, just because somebody does something bad doesn't mean they have a mental illness. And just because you have a mental illness doesn't mean you're going to do something bad. We need to stop with this stigma that we have bad things happening because of mental illness. Mental illness is no different than having COPD or having fibromyalgia or arthritis. There's medications for all of those things, and there's medication for mental health. This episode of Paul's Funhouse is being brought to you by the Kicking Out Podcast. Follow them on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. It's a wrestling podcast focusing on AEW each and every week. You can join Tanner Lee, Austin Shepard, and myself as we talk all things AEW. We'll get into some other stuff as well, but our main focus is AEW. And the fantastic news about the Kicking Out podcast is they've got great merchandise. So you can support a great podcast and look fantastic doing so. All you need to do is go to kickingoutshop.com to support a great podcast and look fantastic doing so. And there's some great news all August long. You can enter promo code FUNHOUSE and get free shipping on your entire order. It's kickingoutshop.com, promo code FUNHOUSE, FUNHOUSE, for free shipping on your entire order. So check out kickingoutshop.com today and get your Kicking Out Podcast merchandise. And now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. So if you are struggling right now, whether it be with suicide, whether it be depression, reach out, talk to somebody, male or female. You can always hit me up. You can send me a message and say, Paul, I need to talk about this. And guess what? We'll sit down, we'll talk. Well, okay, we'll message back and forth. But still, the point is, I'm here for you, you're here for you. Take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. That is very important. Men especially. The suicide rate in men is higher than it is in women. Because, again, we go back to that whole, men are told we don't talk about our feelings. Men are told we don't do this, we don't do that. You can't discuss this. You can't tell anybody how you feel. Because it's not right. It's not allowed. Well, I'm here to tell you it is allowed. So men, women, doesn't matter what you identify as even. That's another thing that we'll get into. So many people think that the LGBTQ plus community is suffering from mental illnesses. That's why they are the way they are. They're bisexual because something's wrong in their brain. They're gay because there's something wrong in their brain. They like the same sex because there's something wrong in their brain. That's not the case, okay? You cannot help who your body's attracted to. I mean, seriously, I've fallen for people that I should have never have fallen for. And it came back to bite me in the ass 9 times out of 10. But, hey, you know what? That's okay. But my point is, mental health needs to become something that is focused on. Whether you identify as a male, a female, whatever. If you are a male, if you are a female, take care of yourselves. Love yourself before you can love anybody else. Think positive, and positive things will happen. I got to get used to pointing behind me at things. Still new, so, yeah. Think positive, and positive things will happen. And that's kind of along the lines of mental health that I'm kind of referring to here. Because if you think positive about things, things do get better. That's one problem with mental illness that we all suffer from as somebody who, or anybody who does suffer. We don't want to think about the positive. We go to the negative. And then we wonder why things aren't getting better. Well, my car broke down, everybody's out to get me. I had an off day today. Everything's going downhill. Okay, it was a bad day. It'll be better tomorrow, and things will continue to get better. Shift that mindset, and then you will notice that you are starting to feel better. One thing that I've noticed with my mental health is if I go for a walk, if I put on music, if I am outside, I feel better. Don't keep yourself cooped up, laying in bed under the blankets, no matter how much you want to. Get up, get outside. You'll feel better about yourself. Keep moving forward. That's all you can do. Keep moving forward. Because if you stand still or focus on the past, it's never going to get better. I've kind of rambled on here throughout this first episode because there's so many things about mental health that I want to talk about that we probably will get into in future episodes. But again, welcome to Paul's Funhouse. It's not always going to be this serious. We're going to have all sorts of talks. It could be me sitting here talking about conspiracy theories. That's something I want to get into. We'll talk about movies, because I'm a huge nerd. Whether it be Marvel, DC, Twisters just came out. I'll wait a little bit longer before I talk about that. Wolverine and Deadpool just came out. We can talk about that. We can talk about Robert Downey Jr. Coming back to the MCU as Doctor Doom. We'll talk about all sorts of stuff. We'll talk about wrestling. You can see I'm a huge wrestling fan if you don't know me. We'll talk about, let's see here, what else will we talk about? More mental health. We can talk about some TV shows like Seven Deadly Sins. I'm looking at a lanyard. I have 7 Deadly Sins right now. We'll talk about all sorts of stuff. That's the fun thing about Paul's Funhouse, is there's so many topics that I want to discuss and cover, and now we have a way to do so. So thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Paul's Funhouse. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I don't know what the lingo is. I'm going to try to get this here, so bear with me here. As I say, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell so you are notified when the newest episode of Paul's Funhouse drops. I'm Paul. Thank you for joining me on this debut episode, and we'll see you again probably Monday. My goal is Monday, Wednesday, Friday video drops. Doesn't necessarily mean there won't be a Tuesday or a Thursday one as well, but guaranteed a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that's why we launched this on a Friday. Not only because it's a Friday, but and my birthday's tomorrow, but that's beyond the point here. I wanted to get on that routine, so I wanted to drop my first ever video on a Friday and then come back at you on Monday with more fun stuff. I think I know what we're going to talk about come Monday's video, but you're going to have to wait and find out, because I don't want to give away what we're going to do in the Funhouse just yet. So stay tuned. Thank you for coming along on this journey. I know for the first ever video talking about mental health, a little serious, but I promise you, not all these videos are going to be serious. So stick around, stay weird, and we'll see you again in Paul's Funhouse very soon.
In Paul's Funhouse, where the party never ends with all your friends. Tell all your buddies it's gonna be a wild ride. Join us next time for more fun and games. Like and subscribe, spread the word. It's not the same without you. Tell all your friends we'll see you real soon at Paul's Funhouse. Join us next time and be part of the fun with Paul and his friends. Stay weird and stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time at Paul's Funhouse.